The FBI released the Hillary Clinton email investigation notes recently. It's 47 pages. So when did this start? This started in July of 2015, and the story basically is that in 2008 Hillary Clinton decided to use her presidential campaign email server for using State Department emails. And this violates the Freedom of Information Act. The Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA, is a law that gives the right to access information from the federal government. The idea is to create some level of transparency and keep people that are representatives accountable. But apparently Hillary Clinton decided that she didn't want to do that. She did have some discussions with Colin Powell, and Colin Powell told her that some conversations really should be off the record, and for those he would keep it very brief and use technologies that aren't trackable. But Hillary Clinton decided to take this to a new level. She decided to completely do all her business on her private server. The FBI did get a chance to do forensic analysis on some of her archives that they're able to collect, and they found there were 81 email chains that had information on them that was from the levels of confidential to top secret special access. So what exactly is top secret special access? Essentially, that means that the information contained is so secret that you have to have special access to even have information about that program. A lot of people consider top secret to essentially mean that if you disclose this information, someone will probably die. That is how critical information is, that is top secret. 81 email chains. In fact, 61 of those chains are still classified. So why not just use the State Department email? I know that for the company I work for, LexisNexis, I use the company email for all company business. And I know the company keeps records of that information, and they own the servers that I use. But for some reason, she wanted to use something else. What reason did she give? She said she didn't want to carry 2 devices. But Hillary Clinton does have a point. She didn't want to use 2 devices. In fact, she used 13 separate devices, and 8 of which she used while she was Secretary of State. Where did she get these devices? Well, some of her colleagues would purchase them from the local AT&T store. They would configure the device for Hillary Clinton, and then sometimes she would actually lose her device. Wow, you're losing a device that has State Department information and potentially classified information on it, and you just lose it? When the State Department asked for these devices so they could do forensic analysis of it, they couldn't find any of them. None of them. We do know that 2 of them were destroyed, one with a hammer and the other one for breaking it in half. So much for not wanting to carry multiple devices. Hillary Clinton's server was housed in the basement of her New York home. That's really secure. What if someone broke in and decided to steal her server? Wouldn't that be a great treasure trove? Wouldn't that be a great treasure trove of all those emails she uses for the State Department? Now, she also backed up her emails to a Seagate backup drive like this. This really looks secure, doesn't it? One of these. I wonder what happens if you just kind of like lost this or was stolen. She basically did 60-day backups. She did a full backup once a week and incrementals during the week. But alas, the little drive got full, so they just simply started deleting the older ones and not even keeping a 60-day archive. Now keep in mind, this is under the Freedom of Information Act, where that information is supposed to be archived and transparent so we can verify that our leaders are doing the right thing. And it begs the question, why the secrecy? Now, there was a program where they were rolling out called Smart, where they could automatically archive emails. That wasn't being done before. Before that, you had to photocopy all these emails and essentially put them in file cabinets on paper. For some reason, the rollout of Smart was delayed in the office of the Secretary of State. I really wonder why. Now, Hillary Clinton did have 2 State Department email accounts, and she essentially used these to broadcast messages out to employees of the State Department or receive requests for calendar invites for meetings she was invited to. In fact, there was one interesting email that was sent out to all State Department employees that was encouraging them not to use private email for State Department business. They asked Mrs. Clinton about it, and she said, "I'm not aware of that." So here we have a Secretary of State that's having information sent out to state employees, State Department employees, and she's not aware of what's being sent to those employees. I find this amazing. Now, her email that she sent from her private Clinton server made a modification to the sender address. Instead of it being Hillary Clinton at State Department or Hillary Clinton at Clinton Foundation, it simply had a K in it. And many of the individuals interviewed with the State Department employees, stated that they were totally unaware that Secretary Clinton was using a private email server. So much for transparency. Under sworn testimony, Hillary Clinton said that everyone knows I'm using a private email server. Then why do you forge the SMTP sender address to disguise who you really are? Amazing. Oh, if that isn't bad enough, she brought her personal BlackBerry into the SCIF. The SCIF is basically that vault where they keep all the protected information that's top secret hidden. She would just bring her BlackBerry into the vault and stick it in a drawer. Did you know that it is possible to hack into a BlackBerry, change its software, command that BlackBerry? You can turn on the microphone, turn off the lights, and record at will. Is it possible that when Mrs. Hillary Clinton walked into a SCIF that she might have forgotten one day to take the battery out of her phone? Because the only way to guarantee that a phone is inoperable is to take its battery out. That reminds me of a story that when I was at work, and I was working in a special access vault, that someone's phone went off. And this lady that was fairly new to our group, her phone started ringing in her purse. You imagine how freaked out she was. In fact, we couldn't seem to figure out how to turn the stupid phone off, so we had to take the battery out of it. We rushed out of the SCIF, we got out of the building, and then we had a little visit with security to talk about this incident. Amazing. And she just brought into the SCIF and just sticks in the drawer. Not only that, but she would also bring her iPad with her. So much again for 2 devices. She'd take it out to the balcony to work with it. I find this amazing. Truly amazing. I read that one of her laptops was lost that had all her archives on a hard drive. She totally lost it. They put it in the mail, and it was never received. So there's classified information on a laptop in Hillary Clinton's possession. She puts it in the mail to someone else, and that laptop is lost. And of course, they're blaming the Russians for all this hacking. Who knows? Maybe someone simply intercepted her laptop. You have no idea. And there's been just common hackers, I understand, that have hacked into her machine. How do you know it's really the Russian government that has done this? I find this all amazing. Hillary Clinton decided to contract out to a different vendor to manage her server. And she wanted only local backups made of the information. But they made a mistake. They misconfigured the computer, and the computer was backing itself up to their secure cloud. And they notified Hillary Clinton when this happened. By the way, this was after the emails were already subpoenaed by the FBI investigation. Her message was, stop doing that. and delete those. So now she had her emails deleted that were under subpoena from the FBI. That is a complete violation of the law. That was a subpoena from the FBI. Amazing. So what are some of the takeaways from this? Clearly, there was a complete disregard for the rules of doing business with the State Department. The rules don't matter to me. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. Backups are also done on local servers. Why all the secrecy? So we have someone that totally disregards the rules for doing business with the State Department. She totally blows away and ignores the Freedom of Information Act and wants to do backups or email to local servers. She deletes those emails after they were subpoenaed. And she also mismanaged the classified information and potentially allowed it to fall into enemy hands. We do know that there was a certain Iranian nuclear scientist that was giving information to the United States regarding Iran's nuclear activity. And he was discussed freely in email that Hillary Clinton had in her private server. This gentleman was executed by the Iranian government for giving secrets away to the United States. Perhaps he is dead because Hillary Clinton had information about him on her private server. Here's my advice. You really should do your own research into things. And I have the link to the FBI investigation. Read it for yourself. I'm also going to provide some other useful links of other videos that you should consider watching. When you come into this election cycle, vote for the candidate that you feel is most qualified to be President of the United States. But base that information off reliable, intelligent information and give thought to it. Don't just watch the spin that you see on television. Many times I go and talk to people and ask them, who do you think should be President of the United States? And I ask them, why do they feel that way? Many times they can't give me any concrete answers. They just throw back the spin. We are a nation of free people, and we all have the right to vote. You should educate yourself on the facts and make an intelligent decision as to who should be the President of the United States.